Hi. Today we're going to look at the VLOOKUP function, which is a function used to retrieve data every time we have a unique identifier. So to be unique, the identifier must not repeat. Example is employee ID. Every employee has a single ID and nobody else has that ID. So there is no repetition of ID. That's what makes employee ID a unique identifier. So before I show you how to set up the VLOOKUP function, let's actually run one so you understand how it works, and then we can come back to row 6 and take a look at that. Here we have employee ID 1, 2, 3. Our goal is to show the employee hire date right below here. So employee 1 has a hire date, employee 2 can have a different date, and so on. On the right we have a table which has the dates we want. Note, the table does not need to be right here. It could be on another tab. It could even be on another spreadsheet. In our little example here, it's right next to us. The other thing is the table could be much bigger. It could have more and more columns to the right. So when we set up the VLOOKUP, we're going to tell Excel which column to show. Once Excel finds, for instance, ID 1, Excel can show column F, can show G, can show H, anything we want. So let's see then how the VLOOKUP works. Note that in this example, we're going to look for a precise match. In example 2, we look for an approximate match. Let's see how precise match works. Well, to be precise, it means that the identifier 1, 2, 3 is found precisely on the table. If we type identifier 4, it's not on the table, the VLOOKUP is going to fail. So here's how the VLOOKUP goes. Equals VLOOKUP, open parenthesis, click on the identifier, put comma. This is the first red comma we see there, and we see the identifier. Second thing, we grab the table, wherever the table is. Grab the whole table. There's the whole table. Put a comma. Go back to the table range. Put your cursor on the first part, push F4. Cursor on the second part, push F4. Note, you have to do this or the VLOOKUP fails. Now it's time to tell Excel which column to show. We want Excel to show the second column because the identifier itself is the first. So we show the second. If we wanted to show G, we would type 3, the third column, and so on. So here's number 2, second, comma. Excel wants to know, is this exact or precise? We know it's exact because it's employee ID. There's only one. Nobody else has that ID. So we're going to type here false. Close the parenthesis, hit enter, and there is the hire date. Note, because we pushed F4 on the table range, we can now simply drag and all the dates show. Had we not pushed F4 here, then when we drag, the VLOOKUP would fail for IDs 2 and 3 and so on. Let's now look at an example with the approximate date. Think of letter grades. Letter grades get, for instance, a B if your score is anywhere from 70 to 79.999. You still get a B. So let's say somebody scored a 72. When Excel comes here looking for 72, it cannot find. So we have to tell Excel, hey, when the value is not there, you give a response in the range. That is, if 72 is not here, you bump on the 80, so you know that everybody from 70 to 79, not 80, get a B. So let's put the score here, 72, and then equals VLOOKUP, open parenthesis, click on the 72, comma, grab the whole table, comma, go back, push F4 here and here. Before you forget, you do it right away. Now we again are going to show column 2, the letter grade, comma. But this time we know it's approximate. Therefore, we type true, close parenthesis, hit enter. And there is a B for 72. Check against the table to see if your function is doing what it must do. So 72 all the way to 79 is a B, so it did it correctly. Let's test it. What if I got a 49? Well, look at the table. 49 should be F. Hit enter. There's the F. What if I got a 51? 51. Take a look at the table. 51 should be G. Hit enter. There's the G. What if I got a 90? Look at the table. It's A. Hit enter. There's your A. What if I get a 79? Look at the table. 79 is before 80, so it's still a B. Hit enter. And there's the B. So this is how the VLOOKUP works. I wish you good luck.